The Bulls have 3 seconds to try a shot and try to win the game.
This is the Notebook Wagering Podcast.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
Coming to you from the betting deck.
Don't believe what I just saw.
Here are your hosts.
Diggs! Sideline! Touchdown! Unbelievable!
Hey, it's Wednesday night. It's Notebook Wagering time, live from the Salisbury Center, fueled by Monster Energy. I am Smitty. I got my man in studio this week. I'm so pumped up, man. We're already having a great time in studio tonight.
Back in
Q's
black,
back.
baby.
How you doing, Q? We look like, man, in the black shirts tonight. I'm going a little. I'm going to sweat a lot tonight. That's okay. We look like we're going clubbing after the show.
We're going to Living Room DC after this.
That's the way we do it here.
That's it.
We're going to go
VIPs,
mini
got
golf.
bottle
We're going to go
service.
clubbing. One of the two. So, hey, tell the wise we're not coming home tonight. Hey, we got our guy up in Pittsburgh, man, Maddie. Jason can't be with us tonight, but we got Maddie up in Pittsburgh. Maddie, what's going on tonight?
Man, I didn't know there was even a dress-up memo because I, too, am rocking
Yeah,
the
I was
black.
getting ready to say we're all back in black, baby.
Yeah, this is nuts. About the only clubbing I'm going to do is maybe order a club sandwich.
I like it. You know what? We're all wearing black because it's a funeral because we're about to murder the books this weekend.
That's the way I do it. Or let's just throw it out right now. Or R.I.P. the Iron Sheik today. Iron
it.
Sheik, 81 years
Laid to
old.
rest.
If you're a wrestling fan, if you grew up in the time when myself and Maddie grew up, now Q's way too young.
I know about him.
You know who Iron Sheik is?
Of course.
Okay. I'm just going to try.
I mean, I wasn't alive, but I know about him. I read about it. I saw videos.
I'll put you in a camel clutch here in a little bit here and see how it goes. But one of the best villains in the game. Maddie, real quick, Iron Sheik, because you're a pro wrestling guy back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Where does he rank in your book?
Man, villain-wise, he's top 5. Because, I mean, he set up it was the superpowers, the USSR versus Hulk Hogan and all the Americans and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. But the dude was actually like a legit wrestler, like a gold medal caliber wrestler from Iran. He came here and he taught wrestling. I guess he just used to just destroy people when he actually wrestled them. It's a really good story. I think they did
I didn't know
not a
that.
30 for 30, but there's like a dark side of the ring or something on him. So yeah, he's a great guy, man. So rest in peace, Sheik. We love you.
I didn't know that, Matt. I actually thought Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar were the only medalists. Well,
I don't know if he
Lesnar wasn't.
I don't
Lesnar
know
was
if
a
he
collegiate,
medaled
but
you.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if he medaled, but
Yeah, but he was Olympic, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Well, that's still credit.
Yeah, he was.
I didn't realize. That's awesome. I didn't know
Something
that.
else, man. He was good on the mic. He was good in the ring.
Yeah.
He was fantastic. So, RIP to our guys. So, hey, let's dive into it tonight. Let's try to make some money for ourselves
Dude, we're
because that's what
killing
we
it.
try to do, but for our audience also here. We got NBA Game 3 tonight. You got, last time I checked, boys, you got Denver -3. Over under was 213.5. The series is 1-1. Denver got game 1. Miami came back with game 2. Maddie, let's
1-1 to the over, right? Over under 1-1.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
First game was under. Second game was over.
And let me tell you, before I go to Maddie, what I've been doing the Heat first half. First game was bad. Wasn't good.
Yeah.
Second game looked great early. Man, the Heat got out fast, and then Denver really put it on him, so I've lost. But the Teaser King has come out twice. You only hear about the great legend of the Teaser King in football season, people. But no, he's out in the NBA playoffs right now, and especially in the finals here.
I think when it's NBA, it's the teaser queen because they're a bunch of drama queens.
Oh, I don't want to be called that, but I don't know. Whatever. I'll probably look good either way, so it doesn't matter.
Good,
So
feel good, win good.
yeah, that's all that matters. Doesn't matter if you win or lose. That's how you look. So I've hit that both games. I went back to it tonight, but I want to hear what Maddie has. I know he has some player props, and so do I. And I know I just got Q on one. So, Maddie, go after it. What's going to happen tonight? Because everybody, if you're listening live right now, this game tips off probably around 8:30. They say about 8 p.m., but it's always about 8:30. So, Maddie, what do you have tonight?
I'm probably going to sound like the Heat hater, even though I don't. Like, I don't hate either of these teams. I don't like either of these teams. I'm I'm rooting for Denver to win this. I actually think they should be up 2-0, and here's why. The Heat in the beginning of the fourth quarter last game, I think, started out 9 for 9. They just couldn't miss. That was the key. I mean, it's not like Denver was playing bad. They simply, the ball bounced the Heat's way. They crushed it. No knocks on anybody. I do think the difference so far has been Bam Adebayo. He's not scoring a lot, but he's basically turning into the it player for the Heat right now. Jimmy's going to carry them because he's still their scorer. Gabe Vincent is playing really well. The guy from the conference finals hasn't shown up yet, the one that everybody was barking about.
Caleb Martin.
Yeah,
he's asleep.
He still shouldn't have been MVP of that. He still shouldn't be the MVP of this. So you can rip those tickets up.
I think he went 1 of 7 in game 1, 1 of 3 in game 2.
Yeah, and people are still mad about him not winning the MVP of the conference finals. Jimmy Butler carried him the first 2 games. Sure, this kid played great, but it was all Jimmy, so I'm not mad about that at all. Smitty, I can't knock you. I think this is another super close game all the way down to the wire. I could see this being basically a 1-point game at halftime and basically a 1-point game at the finish too. But I actually think Denver's going to win tonight. I think it'd be nice to get away a little bit, go down to South Beach, and maybe the Heat got a little partying in and Denver did not. So we'll see. But, I mean, the crowd's going to be crazy down there. So I think it's going to be a good game. We'll hit player props. I'll let you guys go ahead and break this down a little bit.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I've watched here and there just because I'm still very upset my Boston Celtics is not in this. And maybe I'm just like a little baby and I don't get my way. I storm up the stairs and slam the door, and I just don't like life right now. But like I said, I've lost the Heat first half both times. I've hit the teaser. I think, again, is a great spot for the under tonight. I think if you like Denver, then this game could go up and down a little bit. If you like Miami, this is a good spot then to take the under. Now, what did I do tonight in the game? I'll give out my player props here in a second. Game, I did a teaser. The teaser king is coming out again tonight. I took Heat up to 8.5, and I did the under at 218.5, and that's my teaser play.
I like that.
You like that?
I did jump on your player prop. You sold me.
Okay. Well, I'll get to that in a second. Maybe I can sell you on that because that's fantastic.
Used car salesman.
That's what I try to do here. Maddie, what do you think of that play?
I love it. I was actually going to text you earlier, and then I got so beat up with work. I actually think the over-under started at 215.5 at the beginning of the day, so we missed out on a little good number. But I think you're on the right side of both. Not just saying that because I'd love to argue, but I think that is the correct play on both sides. I think the under hits. I think they'll slow it down at home, and then man, you give the Heat another 5-6 points, 8.5 or 9, whatever you got of that. I don't think they're going to get blown out by any means. So I think you're right, buddy. I hope it hits.
And I'm going to jump on real quick with because you said you like Denver tonight. I think it was this morning. I think it opened at -1.5. I think this morning on Scores and Odds, it went to -2.5. And now when I saw it, it was -3. So, again, I think some people are jumping on that. So maybe a money line play. I think Maddie might be in. This could be a close game, but I think Denver might get this one tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at simple stats. Like, I'm just swamped with the college baseball guide and stuff we'll talk about later. But both teams, Miami plays a little worse on the road. Denver had almost a 500 record on the road. I think it's their series to lose, like Matt said. I mean, I'm kind of feeding off you guys, but when I look at the stats, it seemed like in the first game, we kind of alluded to that Denver was going to score with everybody, and they didn't really do that, but they did that in game 2. It seemed like they finally got everybody involved. I think they had 5 players in double digits. 3 of those were 15-plus points. So I also saw, and I don't know the credibility of this, but they said Jimmy Butler's dad has really bad health. Like, that could be starting to weigh on him with the exhaustion. Not saying that's instrumental in this or it's going to impede it, but it is, certain things are worth kind of following. I mean, he's had to grind for this team, so I think everything kind of lines up for a Denver win, just like you guys are saying. They just don't seem like they have any distractions. They had a pretty easy ride throughout every stage of the playoffs. They're probably the healthier team, having a 9-day break. At some point, when teams just have to play almost every other day, they start to wear down. And now that we're game 3 and game 4 coming up, I think this is kind of where you could see Miami start to kind of slow down and maybe tire out here.
Are you saying that Michael Jordan is in bad health?
Well, maybe. It happens.
I love those rumors that say that Jordan is Jimmy's dad.
If he's living on the East Coast, he's in bad health right now with all the smoke.
Yeah, we're breathing all that smog in.
What's crazy is
he might be in bad health. I don't know. Bookie might be coming after him. I mean, we know he's notorious for owing money. Who knows? I can't comment on that.
Smitty, there's no smoke here, which is crazy.
Well, here's the bottom line, and then we'll jump back into this. I did 5 miles today walking. Come on now, people. Look at me. I'm in great shape.
Smells like a barbecue outside.
You do, and I've said this on walks. Said this. I don't know if you're having breathing issues or you're getting hungry, because my stomach started growling a couple of times walking around. So like Q said today, take some buns, see if anyone's making a burger, or pull a cooler around with some
it's summertime
beverages or whatever you want to drink, and see if anyone's having it. But it's brutal, and we'll get into that in Major League Baseball because there's some games that are postponed. Matty,
I liked your comment though, just on that. Nationals will if there's rain in the forecast, a 30% chance they're canceling, but there's that smog outside, you can't breathe. Hey, game on, boys.
Game on. Yankees postponed, Phillies postponed.
It's just like a little fog. It's fine.
It's okay. You smell like you're at like a campfire. Like my clothes now stink. The whole house stinks, but that's okay. Thank you, Canada. But moving on here. Hero, Maddie, I got a question with Hero. Maybe, there's some rumors that he's coming back. There were some rumors tonight that he's coming back. Then I know early today they said he's not. Do you really think the Miami Heat should bring him back?
Should they? Yes. Just because depth. They need depth. They need some extra. I'm not going to say he's going to be an extra spark, but they can use the extra scoring. He might mess with their chemistry that they got going on and the way they're playing, but I do think they need him. I mean, they just don't have. Sometimes it seems like they don't have enough bodies, and he is a little bit of a bigger player, so we'll see.
Hey, we have Jason. We gotta bring this up. Why not?
Jason, chime in.
Jason's not with us. He had some family things tonight, and that always happens. So we miss Jason. So, but he did just chime in and said, "Where is the good-looking guy tonight?" So. I guess he's having dinner with
He's busy. He's on a secret project.
There we go. Hey, if you are watching us, put a comment down there, and if we really like it, we'll say it on air. And if we don't, we'll just ignore it like it wasn't there.
It must not have came through. Sorry.
Sorry. Our producer's not paying attention. We'll put the blame on him. So... Okay, so Maddie, let's go in really quick here. Let's go in with player props tonight. I did a couple. I'm going to throw my first one out, get a reaction from you. And again, people, if you're listening, play it, fade it, do whatever you want to do. Try to make some money tonight. That's why we do the show. I did Jimmy Butler under tonight, 25.5. I got it at minus 130. Game 1... He had 13, game 2, 21. I think, again, this is a team, if the Heat's going to win this, they have to kind of spread it around a little bit. So I'm going to go, Jimmy has a good game because I really like Jimmy Butler, but I'm going to go under 25 points. Maddie, what do you think?
Is that like the baseline? That's like not an adjusted line?
That was on my book that I played.
Okay, because the BetRivers.com offers you like over under 25.5, over under 24.5, etc. You can drop it down. I don't know if that was the baseline. That does seem a little high, especially what he's dumped in lately. And if he is tired and he is carrying these guys, I'd say that's probably the right side. I don't know. I haven't paid enough attention. Who's guarding him off the top of your head? Is it Porter Jr. or is it Aaron Gordon?
I'll tell you what. I have no clue.
I think it's the majority is Aaron Gordon.
Athletic, similar size.
Yeah, I think that's the right place, Smitty. I'll be pulling for that too because I want to see the Denver win. So yeah, I think that's a good play.
I'm not going to lie, and I'm going to say this because people are listening, going, maybe these guys. I know Q's diving in college baseball, and I know I just said it to start the show that I'm really upset the Celtics aren't in it. So I've been in and out.
Yeah, but we're still hitting bets. We're picking our spots.
Of course.
Yeah, we're picking our spots.
But I'm not watching this play by play.
No.
Like, I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it. I'm looking at the numbers. I'm listening to people. That's the advice I'm giving. If you think I'm seriously sitting on my couch watching every second of the Heat, Denver, sorry.
There's other sports on.
I'm not doing it right now. So, but that's my first one here. Maddie, throw out one of yours.
I have Aaron Gordon over 6.5 rebounds at plus 135. So I think game one, I think he had 7 in the first quarter. He beat it in the first quarter, basically. But I think Miami kind of found out, hey, what we have to do and how these guys are attacking the rim and how he's cutting into the rim. He snagged a ton early, like I said. And then I think game 2, he only had 5. So they're hitting the middle here and hoping that he's going to come up at 6, which is probably going to be the right number. But give me that plus money at plus 135 for him to go over 6.
I like that. That's a good play. I might get on that.
All right. We're selling.
I've already got on one.
I like it. Okay, I'm going to wait. I'm going to let that for my last one here.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my second one that I did. Murray. I did points, rebounds, assist. 36.5. Game 1 had 26 points, 6 rebounds, 10 assists. So if you add that up, 42, if my math is correct, really fast there. Game 2, 18, 4, and 10. That's 32. So he's 42, 32, right in the middle here. What's going to happen tonight? Now, the Joker, I was really eyeing that one up, Maddie, because I think he might have a big game here. But I'm going to go Murray tonight. I got that points, rebounds, assist, 36.5, minus 120. I locked it in. Thoughts on that? He's really thinking.
He's thinking.
Good.
Yeah, I like I said, I always like to kind of be the contrarian in the room, but again, I actually think that's the right play. I think Denver's strategy is going to try to go back to game 1, which they won, where Jokic has to distribute the ball more than he does actually dumping the points, and that's why Miami won game 2 is because he had a huge scoring night. But yeah, I think he only had 4 assists, maybe in the second half. So, yeah, Smitty, I think they're going to have to lean on the other guys to score, which is kind of why I like Gordon just to get rebounds too. The other guys got to get a little more active this game. They weren't so much. I mean, game 1, Jokic had 27, 10, 14. Murray 26, 6, and 10. And then let me see game 2 what these guys had. What did Jokic have game 2? I think that's the key. Because, again, like I said with Butler, Jokic is going to get tired, man. That dude actually runs point guard for them. Yeah, he only had 4 assists game 2.
Yeah, so he's coming off 27, 10, and 14 game 1, 41, 11, and 4 game 2.
Yep, and they lost. So they have to go back to game 1 more that approach where he's the distributor from the top of the key and the tee of the foul line and get these other guys involved more. So, yeah, I mean, and typically what happens is it's Murray and Porter outside for wide open threes. So, yeah, I like that play.
All right, Maddie. Man, you like both mine tonight. Okay, Maddie, I know you got another one. Let's go.
I got Gabe Vincent over 13.5 points tonight, and that goes back to Caleb Martin struggling. And then it's basically based on just Denver plays good D. They don't play great D. They're going to try to double Jimmy, and then they're probably going to crack down on Bam, I think, a little bit more because Jokic is good defender, but he's not great. So maybe they're going to slack off a little bit and drop a guy down. And Vincent's averaging 33 minutes a game and 13 shots a game. You're telling me he can't make half of those shots, get to 12 points, and then dump in like 2-3 free throws potentially? And even if those shots are threes too? That's probably my best play of the night is Gabe Vincent over 13.5.
All right, you ready?
That is minus 135 though. That is sided to the books though.
That's okay. I sometimes you got to lay that. I mean, yeah. I'm doing my next one. I'm going to really lay it tonight, and I don't care. I mean, I'm bored. There's nothing else after the show. Go home, watch a game, and enjoy it, and make some bets here. I sold Q on this one. All right, here we go, Q. You ready for this one?
Like it.
Kevin Love. Now, Kevin Love did not. I don't think he played in game 1.
Nope.
Okay, no Kevin Love game 1. Game 2, Kevin Love 10 rebounds. So, I was looking at the rebounds early in the day. Then what I jumped on here is I jumped on Kevin Love, points, rebounds, 11.5, minus 150. Now, you're laying a little bit, but guess what? I don't care, people. Kevin Love tonight.
Is it just points and rebounds? Or
points, rebounds, 11.5, minus 150. I'm taking the over in Kevin Love tonight. Give me some rebounds. Get in a bucket or two, and we're going to cash that ticket. Q, damn. I sold it with Q. Q, you're on that?
So I got it 12.5, minus 122. I looked at his stats last week. Played 22 minutes, had 10 rebounds, and 6 points. He shot the ball 9 times, went 2 of 6 from the 3-point line. So he's firing shots in those 22 minutes. I mean, he shoots 500 tonight, or 50%. We're essentially there.
Just grab some rebounds. And
get some rebounds.
Put a bunny back in.
Hit a couple threes. Just a little tap in, a little tip in. A couple free throws, maybe take a drive, a little elbow.
That's it. Let's go.
I can't believe I'm gonna agree with you guys again. That's
I mean, dude, if you shoot 9 times in 22 minutes, you're getting the rock. And he's notoriously a good shooter for his size.
Here's a good stat to go with that. So if you go back and look at some plus minus as a team from game 1 to game 2, when Kevin Love was on the court, the Heat were plus 18. So I actually think he's going to get more than 22 minutes tonight. If he's plus 18 and
you're getting 30.
No, I don't know about 30 because I don't know how conditioned he is right now.
He's conditioned to get 12.5 points and rebounds.
Too much, but yeah, I mean, get him 25 minutes, and there's no reason that he probably shouldn't grab 10 boards again and score 6 points again.
Yeah,
Bottom line, get this guy on the court tonight, and you're going to be a winner.
I like it.
Just get him on. Okay, real quick.
I do like that.
Oh, man, you know what that means. We all like.
Well, we're going 0-3
We're going 0-3 tonight. Yeah. So hey, people, if you're watching, maybe fade it. Do whatever you want to do here tonight.
Scott said he doesn't like it, so we're good. We're good.
All right, here, real quick before we take a break here. NHL.
Hey, I was going to give a play out.
Oh, go for it. I'm sorry.
Well, never mind. You go ahead, and I'll give it out right at the break.
Okay, real quick. NHL, and that's Jason, our hockey guy's not on tonight. Yeah. So Maddie's really talented too. So Maddie is I shouldn't say Jason's the only guy in the NHL here on the team, but Maddie does a really good job, and I try to dab. But I'll tell you what, I was so bitter. I didn't even make a bet the other day because I played it the one game, did the first period. They scored with like 1 minute left to take it over 1.5. And then I did a live bet, and they scored real late, and I just got better. So I just got mad again, so I didn't do it the other day. But, hey, game 1, Vegas is all over this right now. 5-2 first game. Game 2, 7-2. Vegas just really tearing it up. Florida, the goalie was shutting everyone out in the eastern side of this. Matty, game 3's tomorrow. On scores and odds, it has jumped. What I saw was it opened minus 114 up to minus 122. Over under is 5.5. Here's the first question. Does Florida have a chance to get back in this? Or what's your play for game 3? Can we just get one bet on this? But I mean, do they have a shot overall, or is this going to be a really boring finals?
No. I mean, Vegas was due. This is I think their 3rd time in the finals since becoming an expansion team. You knew they were due to break out in the finals because they lost the other ones, I believe. They were definitely in it once. Florida is going to come back home. They're going to win game 3. They're going to get back in the series. I actually think they're going to take both, and I think it's going to go flip-flop, and I think Vegas is going to end up winning the series. I'm going to switch my pick. The problem is, the Panthers are actually getting out-panthered, as dumb as that sounds. So they're leading Vegas in shots on goal, but they're not. I think they hit 3 posts game 1, which is just killer. They're taking too many penalties, and Vegas has flipped the script. As good as Florida was in the power play in the playoffs prior, Vegas is now the one capitalizing because Florida's in the box way too much. They're actually getting out-physical, which is really hard to do. Vegas beat them up in game 1. I think it showed in game 2 then. And then the problem is Aiden Hill is out playing Bobrovsky, which is the killer here. But I think when he gets back home, he'll be settled in, sleep in your own bed, come back, rest a little bit. I think I have one play so far on the game Thursday. Take Florida to score first and take the first period over. I think that place is going to be electric, and I would actually bet the first goal to come within the first 10 minutes.
Hey, Matty, real quick, what's the first period overs with this Vegas team? Isn't it like 14 out of 15 games or 13 out of 14, something like that? It's crazy.
It's a lot recently. They're on fire coming out of the gate. Like that Vegas atmosphere is just nuts.
It's the best in NHL.
You're not going to get the same fans in there every time because there's so much turnover. So many people want to get in there. It's going to be loud and raucous no matter what. So, like you go to Florida, it's probably more of the season ticket holders. And, man, in Vegas, it's just a different atmosphere. And I think the Rats will be out. Look out. I think Florida gets back in the series. No problem. I wouldn't sweat it.
All right, I'm going to jump on that with Matty there. All right, Q, what's your play? Before we go to break, what's your big play?
Last time, I got to go tradition. Last time I was here in studio, I texted you boys at like 10 o'clock at night, and I took a minor league baseball game.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
I'm rolling the Reno Aces at home tonight, minus 159, playing the Tacoma Rainiers. Great pitcher on the mound. Couldn't tell you his name. Don't even know who's pitching. But I like home teams.
Hey, you're 1-0.
I'm 1-0.
One of the best numbers in the game right now.
I got another play for you.
I like it.
I just found it.
So give it one more time if you can get this, everybody. I can't get this.
So
go for it.
I've booked it. It's the Reno Aces minus 159. That's the Diamondbacks AAA team. Good team. But I'm looking here in the Mexican League. I got the Leones de Yucatans and the Olmecas de Tabascos. If you parlay those, it's plus 117.
I like it. You giving that out officially on the show tonight?
And I'm trying to pull up college baseball stuff, and I see Mexican League, and of course I got to look it up. Didn't even know there was lines for it. But hey, I'm betting it.
Hey, this is what we do. We give out plays. This is what we do on the show.
I am giving the Reno play out. I did put money on it.
We're giving you plays. Hey, like I said.
I did.
Ride it, fade it, whatever. Hey, we're going to take a break. We got more. Maybe Russian ping pong coming back. I don't know what we're going to talk about when we come back here in a little bit here. But we're going to break down Major League Baseball and the Super Regionals, and Q's all pumped up. Stay with us. The guys from Notebook Wagering. We will be right back.
This is your wallet. It tells a story. Who you are, what you keep close, what you love. But it also tells how important are your finances, how you look after your money. But what if your wallet was crafted differently? It would consist of a protective case that will keep your cards fastened and your banknotes joined under a cash strap. Its slim design would help you hide it in the most challenging situations. All your cards would be easy to reach and kept compact inside the case. Ridge Wallet helps you keep control of your belongings. Choose protection in a modern design. From Ridge Wallet.
They say fortune is fickle. Wrong. I just know what I like! And it ain't settling for 3. Because life's a gamble. Name is guaranteed. Gamble. Evil. Gunning it for glory. Gamble. Love. Gamble. So let's make it interesting. I put $1 million in up to 5 DraftKings Sportsbook accounts.
Lay it all on tonight's game or kiss it goodbye.
Hello, fortune.
Ms. Gray, change my 10 o'clock meeting to 2 and then take the 12 and move it to 4 and then move it to 12.
Mr. Summers, why the big schedule shuffle?
I have to take my car to the dealer for an oil change, and I'll be there half the day.
Why don't you go to Jiffy Lube?
And void my warranty? Have you gone mad, Ms. Gray?
Sir, Jiffy Lube does the certified preventative maintenance your car manufacturer recommends. They also change your oil, the filter, top off all the fluids, and a whole lot more. And it'll only take about 10 minutes.
10 minutes? Ms. Gray, leave my schedule the way it was and bring me a latte on your way back.
Me and my big mouth.
What was that?
Be happy to, sir.
For oil changes and preventative maintenance, nobody takes care of your car like Jiffy Lube. Visit any Nassau, Suffolk Jiffy Lube and get $7 off our signature service oil change. Jiffy Lube. We love your car, too.
Jiffy Lube can do it today.
Now back to putting money in your pocket with the Notebook Wagering Show on WSN.
Hey, we are back here. Notebook Wagering live from the Salisbury Center, fueled by Monster Energy. We just broke down NBA, NHL for you, and a little minor league baseball action tonight. That's what I'm talking about. I like the action. Man, let's go. I can't wait to go home.
You saw that I did confirm that ticket.
There is a ticket in tonight. So, hey, we got Major League Baseball, and then we're going to hit the Super Regionals, where Q is just one of the best in the game right now. Giants, 2 games late tonight, guys. Now, if you got 1 minute, I think. You got the Cardinals, Texas Rangers.
Get it in.
I'm gonna throw it out here. Sharp Angle Syndicate. That was my best play of the day. I gave out Texas again 4 days in a row, people. 4 days in a row. I love this Texas team right now. Get on them. They're going to sweep the Cardinals tonight. I love this team. But, hey, 2 more games tonight. See if anybody here has any action. You got the Giants, Rockies opened up at minus 200 up to 230, over under 10.5. These lines again are on scores and odds. Matty, Q, any action in that game tonight?
Matt?
No. I don't have any baseball action yet tonight.
Oh, man,
yeah, I don't either.
Well, then, Maddie, let's get on this. Okay, one more. I'm just going to throw it out because I do have this on my card. You got the Chicago Cubs going out to Los Angeles against, or Anaheim, or wherever they're at right now. I could care less. Just keep winning. The Angels, minus 136. It opened up to 142 right now. Over under is 9. Again, these are on scores and odds. I did play the Angels tonight. I played them last night. I was going to bed. Cubs were up 4-0. What a bad beat if you had the first 5 for the Cubs. It was 4-1 going into the bottom of the 5th, and the Angels, I think, came back and got it. So, but that was a good way to wake up for me with another winner there in baseball. But my best bet, again, I gave out on Sharp Angle Syndicate is Texas Rangers. Here we go. I'm trying to read. Go for it, man.
Ryan's, he's calling about your cup. He wants to know if that's Cal State Fullerton Cup. I guess that's an inside joke.
No, it's not a Cal State Fullerton. We got Ryan Hyatt. That's awesome, man.
Maybe you talk about this hat. Ryan Hyatt, I mean, we just beat his team. Maybe
man.
That's not a Fullerton. That's a Florida. And then Florida
that's definitely what he's talking about.
Yeah, okay.
Now, just regular.
Oh, cap, not a cup, cap. Yeah. Jesus.
Oh,
Scott's fired. Cup, cap, it happens. Ken's saying Florida sat too long. I'm assuming he's talking. Who's he talking? Florida Gators or the Panthers?
I don't know.
He's got to add to that. Ken, throw a little.
Hey, you know
what?
Put
a little context.
This is good because you're talking and now we're getting. We have to really multitask now in the studio. This is fantastic. So Ryan, maybe I don't think it's Cal State Fullerton.
No, it's the Gators.
It's the Gators.
That's it. Okay. We're playing, baby.
All right.
I can't talk trash about Texas Tech. I mean,
we love Texas Tech.
They were respectful. Ryan, great coverage of them. I tuned in to kind of get the inside scoop on them. So
and Ken, Florida sat too long. If it's the Panthers, I'm gonna jump in, Maddie. Jump in on this. If he's saying the Florida Panthers, I'm not the biggest hockey guy, but I think he might be right. That team sat for a long time, and that usually happens. What do you think, Maddie?
Yeah, it just. I'm telling you, don't sweat it yet. Don't jump off the bridge. Let them get back home. Let them get one game under their belt. It's literally a must-win game. If they lose, it's over. There's nobody coming back from 3-0 in these playoffs anymore. That's nonsense. So they're going to get it. They're going to get the first goal. They're going to get the equalizer game here, and then it's series back on. And this Aiden Hill kid's going to get tested. Bobrovsky's going to come back down and play well. Don't sweat it. I'm going to sound like Sean King here. Nostradamus. We got this.
All right, so let's talk a little Major League Baseball right here. We're going to try to cut it a little short here. My Pirates, not good. Not good when you lose 2 out of 3 to the A's.
To who?
To the Oakland A's. Just the Oakland A's,
Oakland or Vegas A's?
Possum A's. We call them the Possum A's
A's
on the show here. But hey, I'm gonna say this though. We called it last week. The Toronto Blue Jays pitcher.
Yeah, big news.
Got sent. Not just. I was trying.
He didn't go to a team.
That's what I said to my dad.
He went to a complex.
Yeah, I said that to my dad today because I called about the Pirate pitcher today, and I said, man, Dr. Brett had a great point. He said, maybe the Pirate guy needs to go down to AAA. And I was saying,
that's what I said.
This happens with teams. That guy just didn't get, I think they're in Syracuse or so, I don't even know where they're at now, the Toronto. He got sent down to Florida.
That's where injuries go, new draft picks, and fat camp.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, we say it as a joke, the fat camp thing. I mean, he's the 5th slowest pitcher in Major League Baseball today. He pitched like CC Sabathia did, very slow, walk around the mound, couple brass, hit the rosin bag, get on the, the bump, get your signs, stare the runner down, then pitch. It was easily a 45-minute or 45-second-ish, thing. That 20 seconds is quick for a guy of his size. He doesn't have time to catch his breath. Yeah. He's got to catch the ball, get the signal in, come set, throw. That's a lot for a guy that came into camp out of shape. You could tell. I mean, CC, the Yankees were, pretty livid with CC came in overweight. They literally made him lose weight. There was incentivized, with bonuses and things like that. That's what Alek Manoah needs. I mean, he needs, again, CC had different rules. You want to play in the major leagues, you got to pitch under 20 seconds, and you got to be able to last. I mean, the guy's lasted 3 innings at tops. He faced 9 batters in a third of an inning.
Yeah, and we're not the only ones. And again, like you said, we're not trying to bash on anybody's weight or anything like that. But
but when you're a professional, you got to prepare.
Greg Peterson even did it great on Twitter and said the same thing. Not trying to bash it, but something's not right. And he looks out of shape. He looks heavy.
Yeah.
So go down.
He's gasping for air.
And the pitch clock is tough. So, Matty, what's your overall thoughts on him heading down to Florida, which is beautiful at this time of year?
Yeah, we said it. That was one of our big talking points. I actually was kind of wrong, but not really wrong. I said that he couldn't get sent down because I think it would just kill his ego. So they didn't, like you said, they didn't send him to a minor league squad. They basically sent him to a rehab facility where he can get in shape. Somebody's going to work on his mechanics or his time clock with him. And then, like Jason said, this guy's going to be on a diet of salads and whatnot because he's my gut feeling is he'll be back with the big squad at the All-Star break.
I think so. I think you were probably in the right. Like, maybe you don't send him down to AAA. This might have been a way to say, hey, we care about you. We don't think you're bad. Yeah. We're concerned. Yeah. This has nothing to do with your ability at the major league level. We've seen it. Go get healthy and come back to the Alex that we had last year.
Yeah, and I think his slider, which was his out pitch last year, something's wrong with his mechanics there because that is his worst pitch right now.
Yeah,
he can't get anybody out of it. So he has no out pitch. Yeah. So I think there's something wrong with his mechanics and also just his general overall health, as we're saying.
I mean, I hope he takes it serious. I hope he's genuine in it. I hope he didn't take it as a slight. He is a good pitcher when he's on. We all saw that. So, and I hope it for Toronto. It's good to see Toronto being really good in baseball. It's good to see the AL East have all 4 and 5 good teams. It's good for baseball. So I hope that he takes it very respectfully and goes and gets it done and comes back and they make a good push, in October.
All right.
Hey boys, hold on, Smitty, real quick. I know we're going to try to keep baseball short, but do you know who's in first place in the NL West?
Arizona Diamondbacks.
Ooh, who saw that coming? The big money the Padres spent. The Giants last couple of years had more wins than anybody expected. They still got the Dodgers there, and look who's in first. Those Snakes.
7-3, last 10 coming into smoky Washington, D.C. tonight.
Yeah. And they got the
they usually have they usually have Washington's number. They really do.
A young front runner too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Matt. I'm going to bring that up. So a couple things I wrote down here. I got 3 teams really fast, and I'll bounce it off both of you guys. You got the Marlins coming on fire right now. 8-2 last 10. They won 5 in a row, and I think they're winning tonight. The team again is the Braves. Can the Marlins win that division? Matt, I'll start with you.
No. And this isn't going to be a homer. Philly's not going to go away. I don't know what they're doing. This is going to sound dumb. They might actually have to change coaches, which is crazy to even think about. Something's off there. Even the lineups. I mean, when you're hitting Schwarber still third or fourth, and he's striking out basically 30% of the time, he's hitting under 200. I think you got to look at a little different approach. Their pitching's finally coming around. I think the Mets are still going to be there. I also think the Mets are that team that could go make a move. They're one game under 500. I don't think the Marlins are there yet, and I think for them to beat 3 teams out and win that division potentially is too much to ask. Now, if Alcantara can go back to his Cy Young form, yeah, they're going to be there. They do have a fun young group. Maybe they needed to just get Jeter out of there and say, hey, we're running it our way.
Anything on that team, Q?
I think Matty said it well. I'll give Jeter credit, though. He brought those guys in. So he gave them the talent. Maybe he didn't run things the way it should, but he did bring those guys in. So give him some credit there. But no, I agree. I think Atlanta is just too far superior. I mean, it's a 162-game season. They're going to have hot streaks. They're going to have cold streaks. They're just too good. They coming off a World Series 2 years ago. So it's Philly, like you said, they're always going to be there. The coaching thing's weird because then they just change coaches and then they go to the World Series.
Yep.
So
yeah, but he's not getting this team to gel like they did last year in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Harper. Maybe it's because Harper's like in and out and missing and this and that. Even though I've never been.
Well, I also think it hurts when you have Rhys Hoskins out. Staple to your lineup.
They've lost a lot.
Yeah.
People just don't realize it.
I think he gets a pass ultimately by Philly fans because of that.
My biggest disappointment, I have this conversation with my cousins a lot, is, man, this Trey Turner deal for 11 years is looking rough.
I think it'll be really okay. Rough. I mean,
I do too.
He's never had a bad year. Yeah. I mean, Harper had a bad year in D.C., and then he goes to win an MVP. It's going to happen. Yeah. These guys aren't going to be good 16 straight years. Yeah. I mean, even Mike Trout's had a lower year with injuries and things.
Well, I think, too, is you look at
new change of venue.
I agree with you guys to look at it for like a season or seasons. Like Mitch Keller's one right now with the Pirates, being a Pirate fan. He was lights out, striking out 12, 13 guys. He pitched last night. He struck out one guy against Oakland.
That mean he's bad.
Well, something's not right now, but it doesn't mean that the guy's not good. He just right now, something's not right. Yeah. Maybe health-wise, maybe arm's tired. I mean, it's hard to criticize every night. So real quick, because I want to hit college baseball here before we have to go off. I'm going to cut it down to one more team. The Cardinals, guys. Again, I went with Texas tonight. Best bet. I've taken Texas now. The whole series against the Cardinals. Cardinals are 2-8. They've lost 5 in a row. Matty, that's a team that has some talent. That's a winnable division. Brewers aren't that good.
I don't think they have the pitch.
And I hate to say it. I'm going to say it as a Pirates fan right now. Pirates are very inconsistent. I don't know how great the Pirates are either. This is a division they can win, man. When are the Cardinals going to wake up, or do they need to make a change really fast? Really fast. Let's go.
You nailed it. It's the pitching. I mean, here's the starters: Jordan Montgomery, Jack Flaherty, Miles Mikolas, Adam Wainwright, Matthew Liberatore. Liberatore's young, and I think he is going to be good. Wainwright as well.
He's old. Retirement.
Career. Yeah.
Flaherty had 1 good year. 2 good years.
Yeah.
I look every day for when Wainwright's pitching, team run over on the other team.
Yeah.
The problem with them too is they actually have a really good farm system with Walker and then Nolan Gorman, and they're both playing. They're both back up. Like Walker went down, and then they have Lars Nootbaar. They're good, but they're banged up, and this is a team I think that has to retool, and it has to start with the pitching. I would fade everything with the Cardinals like you have been.
All right, great Major League talk there. Now let's dive into the big action.
I love it.
This weekend,
event.
I know what Q's going to be doing, and I'm going to tell something really funny, and I don't think your wife's going to mind if I tell this. I don't care. If she next time I see her,
I'm not worried about her.
I'll get her something, so don't worry about it. Buy her a drink or something.
Hey, listen, we've done worse.
So we got the Super Regionals. If you have not, again, dove into college baseball,
it is a gem.
Get on board. Get on board. And again, the guy to my left right now is one of the best in the game. Him and Matt Grissom right now are just tearing it up. Came out with a guide again. I think it just got released a little bit ago.
Should be out tonight.
I think it got released. I think I saw it on Twitter.
We teased the cover.
Oh, you teased it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be out tonight.
Okay, going to be out
Finishing
tonight.
up.
And our guy Jason's done some work for that too. So let's dive into this. We got 12 minutes. And Q, this is your baby. We're going to rapid fire. Matt did an unbelievable job. We did a college baseball regional show. You should have checked it out because it was
Matt did really well.
Matt did really good. Jason did really well. I did okay on some things. So Friday, let's go. We're diving right into it. We got Duke traveling up to UVA. On my book, I have UVA minus 190 game 1Q. But for the series, what's your overall thoughts on this really fast? Then, Maddie, I'm going to dive to you next, and you give me a winner.
Well, I'm going to post my futures as soon as our guide comes out. But Virginia is sitting at minus 200 for the series price. I like Virginia here. I know it's a lot to lay. Duke beat them 2 out of 3. Right now, Virginia is playing extremely hot baseball. Matt Grissom's always said there's a hot, cold, hot method to winning a national title, and they're past the hot, past the cold. Now they're back to the hot. Their pitching is lights out. Kennelly Early's unbelievable to close out that series in the regionals. Nick Parker, just destroyed and slice and dice ECU. The kid's a gem. And then, they've got a great bullpen. They've got Jay Woolfolk. I just like this team. Their offense is really good. Duke has Alex Gow on the mound. They have a really good bullpen, but I think as hot as UVA is right now, they're the team to beat. Me and Maddie have been on them all year, and I think we just keep that train rolling.
I know what Art Maddie's going to say, but I want to hear what he says because I know he loves this UVA team. Maddie, go for it.
I'm going to throw you a curveball, buddy. I think there's 3 teams. I told these guys, I know it sounds dumb.
I'm just going with the UVA Duke.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Okay, we'll come. Okay, you hold that thought. Let's just break down the UVA Duke game real quick. The series.
It's UVA. They're just we've been saying it all along. Q just summed it up perfectly. They are just the more complete team. I don't think Duke can score enough. I think these games will end up being like 7-4. Not a grind, but I think UVA will they'll just outlast them, and I don't think Duke can score enough runs to typically beat them.
Can I just say this? There is really no value in any of these picks, so you're going to have to lay juice. I just want to put that disclaimer out here.
Absolutely.
I say false.
Oh,
all right.
Okay, we'll come up to it. Okay, hey, we're going to go to the next game, 5 p.m. on Friday. You got Indiana State traveling to TCU. Now, Indiana State's a fantastic story. They probably should be hosting this.
They should.
But they had this, if I'm correct,
Olympics.
Special Olympics are there, which...
Very stand up.
Very stand up. And again, I did see some sites said the TCU fans have really donated a lot of money.
$25,000
Wow.
to the event.
So great job.
Very nice job.
For the TCU fans, and that's fantastic. So you have Indiana State traveling now to TCU. TCU's on fire right now. They whipped Arkansas.
I think it's pretty easy. They're priced at minus 180. I think this is juice you lay because Indiana State's momentum was to play in front of their home fans. They have good pitching. Yeah, they hit against an Iowa team that was depleted. Their bullpen wasn't there because they had to come out of losers bracket. So I don't put much stock in the good hitting performance Indiana State had. TCU is on fire. Trey Richardson hit 2 grand slams by the second inning, a 3rd home run later in the game. Their pitching has been pretty well all year, a low 4 ERA, so that's been there. They just couldn't score runs. Now they are. Plus, you get them at home. There was a video on when they got announced from their coach that they were hosting. They blew up. And I think this team can at least get to Omaha. Now, do I think their flaws come out in Omaha when they play good teams like LSU, Florida, South Carolina, Tennessee, etc.? Yes. But I think they actually handle a pretty good Indiana State team that only had leverage if they hosted. They gave that leverage to the Horned Frogs.
Maddie, what do you have on that game or series?
Nailed it. TCU on fire. But I'm going to say something, Q. Shop around. DraftKings actually has TCU minus 160, much better number than that minus 180.
I don't want to tease what I got at that.
I'm just saying, but
you're right. Shop around.
Good values, and I don't think you have to lay too crazy awful juice like a minus 200, etc.
No,
minus
I agree.
160 is not too bad.
No, not at all.
I think you can dig into your wallet, and that team they're just rushing the ball.
Yeah,
they are the hot team right now. But you said it, I think, perfectly. I think they will get to Omaha, but I think they're going to get exposed in Omaha.
I agree.
I'd take TCU in that. So moving on here. We're going to go 6 p.m.
Let's go.
Friday night action. I know it. And this is where I'm going to go with. So I'm going to say this, and we're going to go quick here. Q's wife gave out the best Twitter the other day and said Monday she couldn't watch the game with you because she didn't watch the game Sunday.
Correct.
With you. So you made her go upstairs?
Made my father-in-law leave too.
I love it.
I sent her upstairs and I sent him out the front door. Listen, I believe in superstitions.
I do too. Listen, I don't like watching stuff with Pittsburgh, watching the Steelers and stuff with people either. I'm not the friendliest
I'm putting
person.
those same boxers on that I wore for 2 days straight. Right. They haven't been washed.
Hey, Jess, I'm sorry you had to go upstairs. But, hey, they won, so that's all that matters. So, all right, here we go. Friday night action. South Carolina travels to Gainesville to play the Florida Gators. I mean, listen, let me jump in first because I know where this guy's going to go. This is not a Cal State Fullerton hat here. I like South Carolina throughout the year. Struggled a little bit. Came back really good last weekend. But I'll tell you, I already jumped on a ticket with Florida to win the national championship. They got the pitching. The bullpen, I have said on this show that it was a little iffy. The bullpen looks better. Good closer. They got studs. The one guy, the center fielder.
Oh, Wyatt Langford.
Langford could be the number one pick. I mean, if Pirates, the Pirates have the number one pick. Everyone wants Cruz. This guy could be number one pick, people. I'm sorry to say.
I'll tell you, if you're the Pirates, I think you make a mistake if you don't take Langford over Cruz. The upside is just so much better.
That guy's tough.
His power.
And you're going to have Pirate fans going crazy if they're watching this, but I kind of agree. I think it's close. And I love the pitcher for LSU too, but I love Florida in this. Let's go to Maddie because we know what Q's going to say. Maddie, what's going to happen in this series?
I'm not a South Carolina guy. I'll keep it short and sweet. It's Florida, but I am going to disagree with your overall draft pick. It's got to be Cruz first. It's got to be Skeens second from LSU.
All right, Q, where are we going here? You going to just go crazy on the show and say South Carolina comes in and wins this?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I agree. I think that's the order it's going to go in the draft. I think you can make a good case for Langford 1. But
absolutely. I agree.
With the Nats drafted 2, Rizzo always goes pitchers first, so Skeens will be the number 2 pick. If you could find a ticket on that, I would lock it in and lay the money. I like Florida here. South Carolina was injured. They were missing LaCroix, McGillis, and a couple other guys when they beat Florida in Kentucky. Founders Park is a tough place to play. They actually swept Florida. Florida's going to use that as huge motivation factor. They get to come back home, and Florida's pitchers, Jack Caglione, Brandon Sprode, Hurston Waldrip, all throw roughly 1.5 ERA points better or runs better at home. The crowd is going to be fired up. They're going to be embarrassed they took a sweep by this team. They know what's at stake. They had a true freshman come in and throw 7 innings he's a bullpen guy, but he can start. They brought a sophomore in who blew it last year against Oklahoma in a decisive final game in a regional. He came out and threw 5-inning gem. The bullpen is elite. They had a sub-2 ERA all region. Florida, I think, found their bats. They started slugging. And keep in mind, they were hitting home runs, Cags and Langford, in dead blowing in wind from left center and center, and they were muscling the ball out. Even if South Carolina's healthier, I think there's unquantifiable factors here, and I think Florida gets it. I think they're at 165 to lay the money.
I don't know this, and we know tons of nonsense. So Florida's football field is the swamp. Is the baseball field the quagmire or the bog or anything cool?
Quicksand. You die slowly in the dirt. I don't know. No, it's family. It's Conjun family ballpark.
They need something cooler. They need
they need something cooler.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on here. Hey, a little nugget I dove into here. We got Oral Roberts traveling out to Oregon here. You got Oral Roberts winning 21 games in a row. Oregon's on a 9-game winning streak. But let me tell you something really fast. The head coach for Oral Roberts, I played Little League Baseball against. Didn't know this. Saw his name. His name's Ryan Fulmer. Well, he grew up in Phillipsburg, then moved to Chambersburg, and then went on to Oklahoma State and COD and everything like that. I'm going to give you another quick fact about that. He was the same age as Garvey that's been on the show before. Garvey again played at
Panther legend.
Pitt Panther legend Rob Garvey. In 1995, they played in the regionals to go to the College World Series. It was in Tennessee. It was Tennessee, Oklahoma State, Pitt, and I believe Citadel. And if Garvey, if you're listening, you can send in if I'm incorrect with Citadel. Well, they ran a nice little article on there because it was the two Phillipsburg boys. Again, Ryan was there until about age 12 and everything like that. Really good player. You know, my family knows his family really well. But, hey, I'm pulling out for this team. I didn't know that. Let's go Ryan Fulmer. Let's go the Fulmer family.
They got great pitching.
P.O. Pride. Let's go. And I'm going to drop another P.O. Pride here in a little bit here right before we go off. But Oral Roberts, I'm taking you. Let's go beat the Ducks this weekend. Matty, what do you got?
Well, somebody asked where that good-looking guy was from the show. Well, he's right here, and he's the guy who picked Oral Roberts to come out of that.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
Bravo.
With a big plus money. So I'm gonna do little pat on my own back, and you know what? Keep it going. If you can get this team with plus money, right now they're plus 125. Smitty, I'm with you. It's the Oral Roberts Patriots. And you know what? That coach should come to Penn State. I'm going to get the hype train rolling. Bring baseball back to State College.
Yeah, typically one dog makes it out of the Super Regionals and gets to Omaha. I look at the prices, like South Carolina's technically a dog, but I don't really think they are. I mean, they're a powerhouse this year. I would say the only other like dog would be Indiana State, but I think this Oral Roberts team has a better matchup against Oregon. Oregon's bats aren't the greatest. They have good pitching. I'd be curious to see if Jay Stofall pitches. Their number one pitcher in the Super Regionals, so that's a big question mark. Oral Roberts has good pitching. I haven't really picked a side yet. I really got to dive more into this. This is one of those I don't want to put out a play and potentially force a play because sometimes no play is the best play. So not to say that I won't have a play by tomorrow. I've just got to research it more. But Oral Roberts is on a great run.
Matty, his brother Eric, that I played Little League against too, really good athlete, played, I believe, college baseball. I'm thinking Old Dominion. I think Old Dominion.
Well, Justin Verlander town.
He was an assistant coach at Penn State at one point in his career. I think he's up in the PSAC now, head coach. So, all right, moving on here. Saturday, you got Alabama against Wake Forest, man. Again, a lot of books, it's tough to get anything with Alabama.
If you're in Vegas, you can find it.
Vegas, you can.
I think this one's easy.
Because the head coach was an idiot and was gambling, but good for him to be a gambler, but he got caught. So, I'm going to jump real fast. Wake Forest, again, I think has way too much pitching for Alabama. I think Alabama's a nice story, but I think Wake Forest has way too much pitching. Q, let's go to you next. What do you have here?
Yeah, I'm with you. Alabama has good pitching overall this year, but I just think Wake Forest is a force to be reckoned with, and they're going to at least get to Omaha. We got to kind of speed it up here. What do we got? 3 more? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll keep it simple. It's Wake. We did the picks. We picked our seeds, our 1, 2, 3, and 4 seed. Wake was my pick to go through. I think they're a lock to get into Omaha.
Yeah.
All right, 3 o'clock on Saturday. We're going to go really rapid fire here, try to get you out of here in about an hour. Kentucky, LSU. Again, this team, LSU, has so much firepower. You know, they got the top line pitcher that like you said, is going to probably get number 2. Yeah, and number 2. Kentucky, I like. They don't hit for a lot of power, play small ball and everything like that, but I just don't think they have enough. I take LSU. Matty, what do you got in this?
Yeah, same. You look at the opening lines, Kentucky's actually the biggest dog on the whole board. So I think that's a reason. I think LSU powers through.
LSU's just got the firepower. They played a tough series earlier on this season at LSU. The fans are going to be fired up in LSU's Baton Rouge. I mean, they're starting to get good pitching from Ty Floyd. He's starting to look consistent. Thatcher Hurd starting to look really consistent. Riley Cooper, he is the Louisiana man's wet dream down there, heavy set, bearded pitcher just throwing gas. I think LSU's starting to come into their prime right now, and Kentucky's just going to feel the wrath of that.
All right, 3 p.m. on Saturday, we got Tennessee going to Southern Miss. This was one that a lot of people think Tennessee should have hosted this, but it did not happen. I don't care.
A lot of politics involved.
Yeah, I don't care where this is. This could be in my backyard. Tennessee has a lot of pitching. You saw it against Clemson. I took them.
Yeah.
I had them through. I hit a couple bets with them. Tennessee is going to be way too much offensively and pitching staff wise on this. Give me Tennessee. Matty, what do you got in this?
Tennessee. Let's just keep it rolling. Vols get to Omaha.
This is one of my favorite bets. I love Tennessee here. I said it in the regional guide. They have the team to win it all. It's just whether their bats show up on the road. They went to Clemson. They showed it. They had a hell of a game. It was one of the best regional games we've watched in probably a decade. Then they followed up with just good performances against Charlotte. I think this team found their bats on the road. I think it actually is going to piss them off. They're not playing in Knoxville due to politics, and I think they actually win pretty handily in Hattiesburg.
All right, last game, 6 p.m. Saturday night, Texas, Stanford. I'll tell you what, Texas just seems like they're always there.
They find ways to win.
And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. And I guess what? They're going to find ways to win this weekend. I like them over Stanford. What do you got, Matty?
Same, man. I watched a lot of that Stanford and then the A&M games. Stanford just didn't impress me. It impressed me that they won all the games.
They don't have any pitching outside of Quinn Matthews.
They hit the ball really well. I actually don't even think they played that good of defense. But man, with no pitching in a 3-game series, yeah, I'm gonna stick with you, Smitty. Scare, we've been on the same page all night, but I think it's Texas.
This is definitely a stay away for me from a betting perspective, because I think either way, I wouldn't be surprised to see either team win. Stanford hits way better than Texas. Texas has better pitching overall. I would lean. I think I would lean Texas because their bats did kind of come alive against Miami. Miami has some good pitching. But this is a game or a series that I would just sit back and watch instead of try to force a play, to be honest. I think there's better bets on the board than Texas-Stanford.
All right. That's Super Regionals.
It's going to be great.
And again, if check out Q, Matt Grissom, the guide's going to be out.
Yep. NCAA Insiders.
It is fantastic.
Credit to Jason. He's our stat guy.
Jason's.
Another guy, Parker. They're working in combination for the stats.
Unbelievable. If you're into college baseball, you guys are doing an unbelievable job. Keep crushing it here. Before we go out, I'm going to say one thing. Again, we threw a little PO love out. I'm going to throw a little bit more Phillipsburg, Osceola love out, my old high school. They are playing Punxsutawney. And we're not talking about, is it going to be...
Not talking about Phil.
Yeah, we are. We're going to talk about up there, Punxsutawney. Right. That's where Phil is.
Yeah, that's where he is.
6 more weeks of this, but I'll tell you what, 6 more weeks, Phillipsburg's going to beat Punxsutawney tomorrow. So good luck to the boys tomorrow. Second round of the state tournament. Go win that state championship, guys. Coach Sankey, fantastic coach, and the guys are playing really well. So let's beat Punxsutawney tomorrow. Go PO. Phillipsburg, Osceola, PO Pride, man. Let's beat them. Anything else, guys?
Nothing.
Matty, you got anything up in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, real quick. Huge weekend, actually. Don't forget, we'll post some golf plays and the Belmonts this weekend. We got to do a little Belmont, man. So look out on the Twitter, and we'll get some stuff out on there.
That's what we do. We play.
We did miss the golf topic. We'll cover that next week.
Yeah,
we just kind of ran out of time.
We got the U.S. Open. This one's the Canadian. I mean, there's a lot to go in. I know Matty's going to post. I'm going to try to get a couple plays out tonight on that. If I don't, then I don't, because it's with the merger and everything. You could have some pissed off people, and I don't know if I want to play that. So that's the way we do
Smitty,
it.
Smitty, I'll hit up Stevie Shrimp too, and he usually hits me up for some golf stuff. So I did give out the winner last week. I'll say one thing. It wasn't who I expected, but I did have Hovland on my card.
You'll take it.
Yeah, I really like him. He's a good guy. But U.S. Open next week, so we'll be sure to talk about that. So, all right, everybody, listen, thank you so much. Thank you for everybody that gave us some questions tonight. We really enjoyed that. And hit that little favorite and give us a little thumbs up.
Subscribe,
like, do whatever you want to do, man.
Follow us on Twitter.
That would be fantastic. Q, what do we always say?
Bang your bookies.
Thanks for listening to the Notebook Wagering Podcast. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any episodes, and be sure to follow @Notebook Wagering. Until next time.